Biz Dracula. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Netflix Man-Thing Build-A-Figure Waves Bullseye. If you're trying to pick this up, you can get it right now.
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
The new Bullseye figure. The old one was really good. Will this compete with it? I don't know for myself, but I've actually watched quite a few reviews on it. Anyway, on the side you can see a very cool Bullseye image, and then on the back you can see a product shot. There's a read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. There's the other figures from the wave, and then we get that nice image of Bullseye once again snickering, and then we get this very cool looking Bullseye logo at the very top, which is just a bullseye. Very cool. And then not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Bullseye out of the packaging, and this is immediately, I gotta say, one of my favorite figures from this wave, and I think most people can agree with that. That's why I've saved this for last, because I really do like this Bullseye figure a lot. I also really like the old school Toy Biz one too, but this is a great piece on its own. Hasbro has offered a lot with this figure. I mean, we get the interchangeable heads, we get quite a few accessories over here, which I'm very pleased about, but the body mold itself has been reused from the 2099 Spider-Man figure, which I really like as well. So a lot of good things going on with this guy. So let's get a closer look at those accessories, and then we'll get a closer look at Bullseye. So here are the accessories, aside from the interchangeable heads that we get with Bullseye, and I'm very pleased with the amount of accessories that we get here. You can see that we get this gun. We've seen this before many times, and it's just made out of this gray plastic. Nothing too special or anything. He does have a holster on his side right here, so you can store that right there. We've also seen this knife before, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Looks like a bayonet to me, but yep, a little bit of lint on there, but nice gray plastic, so nothing too crazy about this. And he holds it well in his trigger holding hands. He also has a holster in the very back, so you just slide it right in the very back right there. And then you can see that we get 3 interchangeable hands for the left side. Now this is a really awesome piece. I love that they've given us this right over here, these throwing dagger effect hand. I really like it a lot. I will say though, I wish that, you know, this was kind of a little bit off to the side a little bit more. I kept on trying to figure out what's wrong with this, because I really like it a lot. I think this is awesome, and it would be nice if you could detach these, but I can understand how that's all one uniform piece that's glued to the hand. But if I was thinking, if you were to remove this and then shift it over to the right, it would actually look a little bit more like he was throwing them, because in some pictures it looks like these are just really long, you know, stabby fingernails coming out of his hand. But if you shift it over to the right, it would actually look like he's throwing them, you know what I mean? Or on the other side too, he's going this way. So if it was off to one side or the other, that would look a little bit more realistic, I think. Or you could try heating these up and bending them so that they're going a little bit more in that direction. But I think the problem is the trajectory is coming straight out of the hand, but in reality it would come out of the hand from the past, so it would, you know, you get what I'm saying. But otherwise I think these are very cool. So you also get this trigger holding hand for the right side, which is the only hand that we get for the right side of the figure, and then on the left side we get this fake gun, you know, this handgun POW from that infamous cover of Bullseye, you know, with his finger sticking out, and then we also get a trigger hand right over here for the left side as well. Now one thing that's frustrated me is that I wish he had fisted hands, and he does not, but if you take the fists from Blizzard over here, you can go ahead and port those in. So if you're desperate for fisted hands on your Bullseye, you can make that work with the Blizzard hands, so that's pretty sweet. Now I wanted to talk about the history of Bullseye just a little bit. Most of us already know that he's a mercenary and he doesn't have any superpowers, but he has incredible accuracy, and a lot of the time he uses objects that aren't necessarily meant to be weapons as weapons. For instance, playing cards. A lot of the times he uses playing cards as weapons, which is pretty neat. But as far as his actual origin goes, it's pretty confusing. A lot of it is fabricated by Bullseye. He has gone by the name of Lester or Leonard, which has been made up, and his actual origin has been changed a couple times, but the one I read about was that he was a baseball player and he was playing in the major leagues, and he'd been striking out every single person at bat, and he'd gotten bored at the end and just didn't want to strike out the last player, and the last hitter had called him a coward for it and everything, so he had thrown the baseball straight at his head, killing him, and he said Bullseye, and I guess that's the origin that we have based off of Wikipedia. media anyway. And then another thing that had happened was during a battle against Daredevil, he had fallen several stories and had broken his spine, and Lord Darkwind had taken him in and encased his spine in adamantium, amongst several other bones in his body. And then he had gone on to become a Dark Avenger, Dark Hawkeye, something else that's worth mentioning for sure. And then Daredevil had actually killed him, but then he had been brought back to life. So now this head sculpt right here, which I like a lot, came about after the Daredevil movie starring Ben Affleck. So without the Colin Farrell Bullseye, which was actually one of the best parts of that movie, we wouldn't have this particular design that we're seeing right over here, which I think is very good. I actually like that they added in this whole brand right over here on his forehead for the Bullseye. I think that's actually pretty suiting. And I love the facial expression on this figure, or this head sculpt anyway. I think it looks great. I love seeing that maniacal smile, and the eyes look really great and everything. I'm definitely going to have this on my Dark Bullseye figure. I'm going to keep the regular head sculpt on this guy, but I think that is awesome. I absolutely love it. And then to show off the other head sculpt, you can see right over here, this looks really good too. Right, I'm liking it a lot. And unlike the two blade head sculpts, these have different facial expressions, which makes me very happy. And he's still missing the tooth on both of them, which is awesome. I really like that a lot. And you have this pointing finger right here, so you could try to go ahead and recreate that infamous cover from Mike Deodato, who is actually my favorite comic book artist. Right? I actually really love Mike Deodato's artwork. So yeah, I think that's cool that you could recreate that. But yeah, this is a beautiful looking head sculpt. And I just wanted to do a quick head sculpt comparison from the Toy Biz Bullseye compared to this one right here. Both look very good. I like how they both look very mean, but this one's a lot more sinister with that grin and everything. But yeah, looking at the rest of this, I really love the plastic choice. We get this very dark blue color. It's like a midnight blue throughout, which is very accurate. I think that's very good. I like that. Would have liked to seen some highlights or something like that, but for the most part, I'm pleased with it. I think it looks really nice. And I love the 2099 Spider-Man body mold that we have here. I think the lines came out looking pretty clean. Looks pretty solid. I like how the belt came out. You do have to shift the belt around a bit for the articulation. That can be a little frustrating, but for the most part, I think this is a great body mold. I'm very happy with it. A little bit of smudging with the paint right over there, you know. He does have peg holes underneath his feet. Then we get the back of the legs, Bullseye butt, and Bullseye back right there. And another thing is that these butterfly joints have the white paint going all the way through, so that makes me very, very, very happy. This is really one of my favorite new body molds from Hasbro, so the articulation on this is fantastic. I love that you can move the head all the way up, and you can move the head all the way down, and you do get side-to-side motion right now, just a little bit of head wobblage. He does have the butterfly joints right there, so you can move the armpits right that, and you can move the shoulders outward and all the way down, rotate 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which I do wish could bend in a little bit more than that, and then all the wrists actually swivel side to side and hinge up and down. He does have the ab crunch that moves forward that much, back that much, and we do get the waist swivel. Now this whole thing pops off at the peg right over here, so you want to be careful with that, and you want to make sure that you shift this little strap all the way up right there, but that's how you can get some motion without things popping off, so that's pretty sweet. He does have the hip joints that move outward only that much. He will kick forward this much and back a little bit, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, boot rotation, ankles move down, they move up, and he does have ankle pivot. And to measure out this Bullseye figure, you can see that he is standing at 6.5 inches tall. And for your Bullseye comparison, we have our Hasbro Bullseye sandwiched between the two Toy Biz Bullseyes. We have the regular edition, and then there's the variant right over there that have their own head sculpts, which is very cool. And I have such a hard time deciding which one is my favorite. One thing I need to mention is that these Bullseyes didn't come with any accessories aside from the Build-A-Figure piece, so that was the most frustrating thing about these old Bullseye figures, but this guy right here does come with quite a bit of accessories, which I'm very thankful for. We do get some shadowing effect with the blue and the black right over here. We get like fake shadowing effect. I mean, sometimes I call it fake shadowing effect because I was fooled a couple of times in thinking that it was there, but it's actually not. This guy has the glittery kind of look in the black sections and heavy fading, which I really dig a lot, so I really like all three of these. If I can remember, I'm going to put a poll over here, asking you guys which one is your favorite out of the three, but man, I have such a hard time deciding. I really like this new one a lot. I think I'm leaning more towards the new one. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that the Bullseye logo on his forehead is actually sculpted on here. That's not just deco. And then here's Bullseye next to the Hasbro Daredevil figure, which I really like a lot, especially giving him the Walgreens exclusive batons right there. And then we have the Toy Biz series for Elektra. We really need a new Hasbro comic Elektra. I'm sure they're going to do it soon. But anyway, especially looking at these two right here, I really like the height difference between them. They're about the same height. Daredevil looks just a little bit taller, but yeah, they've been very fun to pose fighting each other. And then here's our new Bullseye next to the Hawkeye figure from the wave. And if you wanted to see a head swap with the alternate head on this guy, because this Hawkeye figure has been posed as my Dark Hawkeye for a while now, you can go ahead and swap that head right on there, and now we have a very crazy looking Dark Hawkeye, and I'm very pleased. I like that a lot. I will have him on display like this in my collection. And then here's Bullseye next to the other figures from this wave that I've already reviewed, and you can see he does look a little on the short side compared to the Netflix Punisher and Netflix Daredevil. And then here's Bullseye next to the Marvel Legends Big Time No Letdown Spider-Man. So I realized that I am having a hard time admitting I like this figure more than the Toy Biz version. I mean, it is a great piece, and I almost don't want to say I like this more than the Toy Biz figure, but I kind of do. I think I'm leaning more towards this one than the Toy Biz one. As far as accessories go, I really wish he did come with some playing cards. That would have been really cool to have with this guy, but I'm stoked about all the accessories that we get with him. I have my little gripes here and there, but they, again, I mean, this is a great figure, man. Those gripes are minimal to how awesome this Bullseye figure is. I really do like it a lot. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review a lot. If you did, please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the figure. Let me know what you think of the review. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and do so now for more ShartimusPrime videos coming your way. And if you've already hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know immediately when the next ShartimusPrime video is posted. I gotta give a big thanks to all these people for keeping this YouTube channel going. Thank you so much, you guys. Also, if you want to see a photo gallery of images, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And don't forget to stay in touch with me over on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I'm gonna play with my toys today. I'm gonna play with my toys today. I'm gonna play with my toys today. Well, I don't care what the strangers say. I'm gonna play with my toys today.
That's crispy.
Was shot in your face. I said 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 was shot